Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today, after what has been weeks of covering this race, we have some very big news in that the last House race and last election race on all of the 2024 elections is officially in the books. And we can officially say that in California District 13, Democratic challenger Adam Gray has defeated Republican incumbent John Duarte. The Democrats have flipped the seat from red to blue. Duarte has won the race by a little under 200 votes. To be specific, it's about a win of about 187 votes or so, if you want to get precise. This race is very incredibly close, and depending on whether or not Republican incumbent John Duarte requests a recount still remains to be seen, though he does have up to 5 days after Election Day to do so, so we'll keep our eyes peeled if that happens. But still a very close race where the Democrat has been called the winner by the Associated Press and several news outlets. For this video today, I'm going to take a look at the district and all the votes that have come in and take a look at the 2022 matchup of these two candidates, seeing how things compare and how the Democrat was this time able to win this seat and defeat the Republican incumbent. So for starters, officially Adam Gray has won this race. He has won with 105,554 votes. John Duarte, the Republican incumbent, has lost the seat at 105,367 votes. This race ended up on the percentages 50.04% to Duarte's 49.96%. A very close race. Over 210,921 votes were voted in this district in this election. A large number of votes, higher turnout compared, obviously, the last election back in 2022. And now just going to really quickly show you the total district-wide votes in 2022, where John Duarte, the Republican incumbent, won this district. Duarte got 50.21% to Gray's 49.79%. 67,060 votes for Duarte. Adam Gray got 66,496. A total of 133,556 votes voted in 2022. And when you look at the numbers compared, you can see that there's about a difference of at least, about 80,000 votes more in this election than from 2022. So definitely a large population turning out to vote in this district compared to the midterm election in 2022. Makes sense when you look at presidential wave years versus midterm years. Gray got 50.04, Duarte 49.96. Now we're going to look at the counties in this district, starting by population. The largest county in this district, Merced County. Adam Gray in this district got 42,652 to John Duarte's 40,253. That is a percentage difference of about 51% to 49%. And when you look at the raw vote numbers, a difference of about 2,400 votes lead for Adam Gray over John Duarte. Now let's take a look back at 2022 and see how it compared. Where Adam Gray won here 28,577 votes to 26,108 votes. That is a percent difference of 52% to 48%. And a margin of, get this, about 2,400 votes. So not only did Merced County have a lot more votes this time around, where again in 2022, Merced County had about 54,685 votes. In 2024, it had about 82,905 votes. What's interesting is the percentages in the county were actually about the same, where there was a margin of victory for the Democrat by 2,400 votes. So despite the fact that Merced County was the largest county in the entire district by population, the victory of Adam Gray in this district might not have actually been won in Merced County, despite it having the most votes. The margins were practically the same from 2022 when John Duarte won, and this election, 2024, when Adam Gray has won. So it's very fascinating. The largest county might not have actually been the reason in total why Gray was able to win this race, when he won by the same numbers last time and lost this race. So now we have to look at the other areas of the district to see where things were different. Now we'll go to the second largest county in the district, Stanislaus County, which is right here. Adam Gray got 31,424 votes to John Duarte's 27,492, 53% to 47%, and a little bit under a 4,000 vote victory for Gray over Duarte in 2024. So we'll just round up and say about 4,000 votes. Now we're going to look at 2022. where Stanislaus County in 2022, Adam Gray won 52% to 48%, but it was 18,222 to 16,803. And let's just add up the 400 votes. That would get up to 17,400 plus an additional 1,000. That'd be about 1,400 votes. So Gray only won here by 1,400 votes, and yet in 2024, Gray won here by about 4,000 votes. That's the victory right here. At least in this district, that's enough. That's more than the total victory district-wide came from Stanislaus County. That's a difference of what? About 2,600 votes just between 2022 and 2024 in Stanislaus County. So very, very fascinating that it seems the difference came just out of Stanislaus County alone. But not everything is a vacuum, though, because some of the other counties were also different in this district, more than just Stanislaus County. Next, we're going to go to the third largest county, Madera County. This is actually a Republican one county by Republican John Duarte. He got 19,187 votes to Adam Gray's 14,410 in 2024, a percentage of 57% to 43%. This is one where Duarte won here by about, you can round up and say about 4,700 votes. Okay, so 4,700 vote win for Duarte in 2024. Looking at 2022, Madera was won 12,642 to 9,011, percentage of 58% to 42%. The actual vote win was about 3,600 votes. So again, 3,600 votes in 2022, and then about 4,700 votes in 2024. So John Duarte actually grew his lead in Madera County. So that's why this election is so close. It wasn't just like Adam Gray got the numbers in Stanislaus County and was the same everywhere else. John Duarte also improved his numbers in Madera County. So far, we've seen a situation where the largest district, or largest county in this district, Merced County, the margin of victory was the same from 2022 in terms of the raw numbers. And then the largest Democratic county in the district, Adam Gray improved his numbers. In the largest Republican area, John Duarte also improved his numbers. The difference is the margins improved in the Democratic area, Stanislaus County, which had 58,000 votes, 916, and Madera had only 33,597. So the raw numbers out of Stanislaus was enough to overcome the raw numbers out of Madera. However, we do still have two other counties to talk about, including the fourth largest, which is Fresno County. In this one, John Duarte won here. Of the 20,444 total votes, John Duarte won here 11,440 to Adam Gray's 9,004. That is a margin of victory of about 2,400 votes in 2024. 2,400 votes. In 2022, it was a margin of victory. Let's look. 7,415, 55%, to 6,089, 45%. A margin of victory of 1,400 votes. So actually, when you add all the numbers up, John Duarte did about 1,000 votes better in Fresno County than he did in 2022 out of Fresno County in terms of the margin of victory. So when you look at it, you can take Madera County, where again, there's about close to 1,000 vote difference, and you can look at Fresno County, where there's about 1,000 vote difference. That 2,000 votes or so makes up the margins gained in Stanislaus County, almost. But then there's also San Joaquin, where Adam Gray got 8,064 votes to John Duarte's 6,995. Rounding up, it would be about 1,000 vote difference in 2024. Now let's look at 2022. Here, it was 4,597 to 4,092, 53%, 47%. In 2022, this was only won by about close to 600 votes, basically 500 votes. Actually, almost 500 votes exactly, to be honest. It's probably about 505 votes. So this margin actually doubled from 500 in 2022 up to 1,000 in 2024. And again, this very close race, if you want to look at it this way, going from the largest county to the smallest county, this election might have actually been won for Adam Gray because of San Joaquin County, boosting his numbers here from 500 vote margin of victory in 2022 to 1,000 vote victory in 2024. And when statewide, the total victory for the Democrat in pure numbers is under 200 votes, and the margins in San Joaquin changed by 500 votes, Well, that's the math right there. That was enough votes, more than enough votes, to give Gray a very narrow victory over John Duarte. When the red areas of Madera and Fresno got redder, Merced stayed the same, and Stanislaus got bluer. Stanislaus was able to add up for Madera and Fresno. Merced stayed the same, and then San Joaquin's tiny population compared to the other districts or other counties actually made the difference in this election and was able to give Adam Gray a very, very narrow victory in an incredibly tight election. So it's very, very fascinating where you wouldn't think that the county that has the smallest population, again, San Joaquin only has 15,059 votes. It's the smallest county almost by far. And yet, it very well may have made the difference in this election between being a Democrat win and a Republican win. Because again, let's just say Adam Gray won here again by 500 votes or even 600 votes. That would still have been enough for John Duarte to win this race by likely 100 to 200 votes. And we could be having a very different situation here, saying that after weeks of votes being counted, John Duarte actually won this race. But Adam Gray was able to get the margins improvements in San Joaquin County in the same or in unison with the Democratic improvement in Stanislaus and the Republican improvements in Madera and Fresno. San Joaquin very well may have given this district to Adam Gray. And now Adam Gray, going over all these districts, has officially won California 13. So that's just sort of my breakdown of the districts in 2024 compared to 2022. It's a very fascinating situation, and it shows why this race is so incredibly close. Because look, the red areas got redder, the blue areas got bluer, and the most toss-up of all the counties, Merced County, which is the largest population as well, stayed the same. So I can't think of a better example of a race that was so competitive than this one, where the blue did what it was going to do, the red did what it was going to do, and the purple, the middle part, voted the exact same as last time. So it's very, very fascinating, where in an election where Republicans did better nationwide, pretty much everywhere than they did in 2022, Merced County staying the same and Stanislaus County getting bluer, San Joaquin getting bluer, was just enough to give this race to the Democrat. And with that, looking now at the House race, Democrats have officially won California 13, and in past videos I also did won California 45 as well down here. If I can get the cursor to go over it. Here it is, California 45. This now puts the Democrats at 215 House seats. Republicans are at 220. Republicans finished the 2024 elections with a 5-seat majority over the Democrats, which is incredibly, incredibly close and incredibly narrow. But if it wasn't narrow enough, well, there's also a very interesting situation happening here. We know that Representative Matt Gaetz, who was initially chosen to be Donald Trump's Attorney General, and obviously is ultimately not going to get that position, he has resigned from Congress. So at least for the time being, until a special election is called, this goes down to 219 for the Republicans. We also know Florida Representative Michael Waltz likely will be serving in the Trump administration, so that will be a vacant seat as well. That brings the Republicans down to 218. And Representative Lee Stefanik has been chosen by President Trump to represent the United States as the UN ambassador. This brings the Republicans down to 217. So for at least the time being, could even be for a few weeks, could be for a month, we're going to have to wait and see what the schedule is. I believe Governor Ron DeSantis has to announce that relatively soon. I think they have to wait until the new Congress takes session, which should be in early January. But there's going to be a time period where Republicans will have a majority in the House of 217 to 215, which is actually under the 218 threshold for a majority in the House. That's a whole other situation. But for the time being, Republicans will only have a majority of 2 seats. And let's just say hypothetically, if they elect a new speaker, or if they elect a speaker, and they don't have the majority they have now, 220, if it's 217, 215, 1 or 2 Republicans voting against the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, could derail the whole Speaker process. Where last time around, we saw the Speaker with Kevin McCarthy go on for several days. We very well may see something similar depending if any Republicans go ahead and do that. There's no guarantee that will happen, as it's so close that maybe they all vote, Republicans vote in unison for Speaker Johnson to avoid an embarrassing situation, but that's going to be something to watch for as well. So this race in California is one on the Republican side. Republicans must be very disappointed about. They really needed this seat in a very narrow majority where there's not going to be a lot of leeway to get things done. Even if all 3 seats go for special elections and are won by Republicans, it would still only be a 5-seat majority, one of the closest we've seen in United States history in a very long time. On the Democratic side, what has been in 2024, which let's be frank here, it was a very bad night for the Democrats on the presidential race, and it was a very bad night for the Democrats on the Senate race. Of course, the presidential race, Donald Trump got 312 electoral votes, Kamala Harris got 226. I mean, I don't know what else to call this other than an electoral landslide where Donald Trump won every single battleground state. And when you look at the Senate map as well, Republicans were able to get 53 Senate seats, Democrats have 47, flipping states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Montana, and have very close races in Arizona, in Nevada, in Wisconsin, and in Michigan, very close races. It was a very bad night for the Democrats nationwide. But the House, super, super close. 220 Republicans, 215 Democrats, and this is going to be something very fascinating going into the next Congress and seeing how things go, especially in the House of Representatives. So with that, the state or the district, California 13, has officially been called for Adam Gray after nearly a month of voting and I'm sure election laws and such going on. After a month of all this, this race has officially been called for the Democrat. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video, click subscribe, share with your friends and family, and I hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button and make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really, really, really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day. So I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.